Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel. In this clip, we want to learn how we can download, import, and use the OpenCV in our augmented reality. So, for download and install the OpenCV, we have to come to assetstore.unity.com and in here write OpenCV for Unity. As you can see, it is here and it already has a lot of examples which can be useful for every scenario. For example, body tracking, and in here face tracking, and also add the material and face tracking on the predefined photo, and other types of examples which are very useful for our projects. And this plugin is cross-platform. As you can see, it can support iOS, Android support, and Chrome OS, it means WebGL or HTML5, and Windows, Mac, and Linux, and other things. And you can download the example of it from Android demo or WebGL demo in here, and make sure your Unity version has to be 2019.4.31 or higher. Maybe in the coming days, maybe we will see another version of 2.4.9 or maybe higher. So you have to check your Unity version, and then you can buy it. It is $95 and download it and import it to your Unity. So I already have this version, but I have the version 2.4.7. Okay, doesn't matter. And you need to use your Unity version. It doesn't matter it is personal or pro or other versions. And for now, I changed the platform to Android. So, for example, I need to check off the autographics API and remove the Vulkan, and also the minimum API level has to be 7, Android 7 API level 24 or higher. So these options are necessary for our project. Okay. Now let's get started with object detection example of OpenCV. So we will go to the OpenCV for Unity examples, and in here we have main modules and DNN. We have something, it's called TensorFlow inception. This is the basic example of object detection in OpenCV, and you can use it in your project. It doesn't matter what is your platform. It works on Android, iOS, Windows, and even WebGL. I tested WebGL demo, and but as you can see, if I click on play, it doesn't work because it says model file is not loaded. Please read console message. What is the message of console? We'll stop the game. And here it says, okay, please read streaming assets, DNN, setup DNN module.pdf. But before that, you need to know that your streaming assets folder from the OpenCV for Unity folder need to transform to main assets folder. So drag and drop and put it on assets. So we will have streaming assets in here. And then let's go to this address, streaming assets.dnn and setup dnn module.pdf. Okay, we will say dnn and setup dnn module.pdf. Okay, these examples need to have some assets and resources to be able to work. So in the previous versions of OpenCV, you could have them. You could have them in the main package of the OpenCV, but in the newest version they've decided to put the resources and assets in on the cloud, and you need to download them separately. So it depends on your project, and on your example you need to download the resources and put them in the streaming assets folder. So what was the name of our scene? TensorFlow Inception. So you need to come to TensorFlow, this one, setup for TensorFlow Inception example. The first step is download and unzip this file, storage google apis.com, this one. If you click on it directly, you will download this setup this zip file. I already downloaded it. It is here. Inception 5 is here, but you can download it again. But yeah. After download, it says copy these two files, TensorFlow Inception graph.pb and TensorFlow imaginate comp graph label strings.txt to this folder inside of the DNN. And delete Inception zip and Inception folder file. Okay, so we will download it here, and I double click on this one, right click. Okay, so I will add these files into my DNN folder, all of them. Imaginate comp graph label strings.txt and TensorFlow Inception graph.pb and license. I put all of them into the DNN folder of streaming assets, and I close it. Okay, now let's test. Perfect, it works well. It can detect my sunglass, and look at this, it can detect my sunglasses. Okay, now as you can see in the object detection, you could understand the object detected in the specific area is in the process of the detection. For example, if my glass is here, it can say, okay, this is sunglass. But if my glass goes here, it cannot detect, or it cannot detect. In this part, it can detect my sunglasses. It means we need to make sure our object which we want to detect must be in this area of our screen. So I want to make sure my object is in the right place. But before that, I want to save this scene as a separate scene in the scenes folder. I call it object detection. Detection. Okay. And now I want to add something for better understanding as a sign. For example, a quad as a child of this guy, and I say 1 1. But 1 is too big, and as you remember, the place was here. So we will doing something like this, and I want to create a material for it for better understanding. Object detection area. Okay, and I say color green and make it transparent and change the alpha to, for example, 85. Okay, and I will put object detection area, and then drag and drop this material to here. Okay, and put it a little bit front of the screen, something like this. Okay, and for example, something like this. Okay, it's fine. Now, as you can see, if my glass is inside of this area, so it can be detected by our system. If it is outside, it doesn't work. Okay. Now, we need to deep down inside of the object detection system. As you can see, we have just a quad object which has three important components: TensorFlow inception webcam texture and webcam texture to matte, and also FPS monitor. In the FPS monitor, we will see the FPS number in here and also a label in here to write the final result of our object detection. And the duty of the webcam texture is turn on our webcam or device camera and put the screen view as material of this quad. But the detection process comes from the TensorFlow inception webcam. So for object detection and use it as a trigger of any action or any function, we need to monitor the final result of object detection. So we will come to the TensorFlow inception webcam script and open it and into the Visual Studio. And in here, as you can see, we have all process steps of the object detection, but somewhere we can see the final result. So in here, in the function of void update, in here we can see the final result of object detection and we can monitor it. Look at this. In here, the final result will appear with this uniform, this pose, best match class sunglasses. Okay, so we will have two parts. First, best match class, and second is the final result. So if we can detect and monitor this final result, we can use it as a trigger of any function we want. So I want to say public string target name, and in here public text as a UI element, final result, for example. Okay, and in here, because I don't want to use the FPS monitor, because for optimization I want to disable the FPS monitor, so I put it in out of the this condition. If for example this final result, or maybe target name dot contains final result, I copy this part and paste here. Okay, we will say final result dot text equal I found it. Perfect. If it is not contain of it, let's find it. Okay. Find it, please. Okay. Now come back to the Unity editor, and we will add because I don't want to use these buttons. I want to disable all of them, and also click on quad and disable the FPS monitor. And in here, I will create a new UI element, legacy text, and put it here. Oh my dear. Okay, and change the color to white, and I would say final result. Okay, quad. Drag and drop my final result to this guy. Okay, and in here I will say the target is sunglasses. Or other object, for example, mobile or phone, or I don't know, something else. So if our final result is inside between one of these words, so we can detect, okay, this is our target object. Okay, oh sorry, I need to check on the FPS monitor for seeing what is the current result. Maybe I wrote it wrong. Sunglasses. Sunglasses. Okay. Yes, I found it. Look at this. Sunglasses. It is sunglasses. It is not? Find it, please. Sunglasses. I found it. Perfect. For mobile phone, maybe it cannot detect it because of my lighting. Yeah, it says it's projector. Yeah. Okay, because my phone is black, so it's better to use something is bright. So it's fine. Now let's define an action for when we detect an object. So because we don't need to use our FPS monitor, I want to add something cool in here. Final read text equal, this is the name of it. Oh, sorry. Okay, and then we will say, okay, we don't need you, my friend. And come back to the Unity editor and check off the FPS monitor in here. Okay, let's come back to the Unity Visual Studio, and in here we will add using Unity engine. Oh, sorry. Unity engine dot events, and now we will define public Unity event order found. When we found our target object, do these orders, and also when we not found. Okay, we will call these functions here. Found order found dot invoke when we found it, and when we don't found it, order not found. That's it. Okay, as you can see, we have two separate parameters for import any function and any actions we want. So these are our order found, and these are for order not found. For example, I will create a simple object. I call it test, and I will create a simple functions public void change transform. Okay, and I will say transform. Oh, what's going on here? Let me save and remove this guy. It has to reload again. For example, local error angles, new vector 3, for example, 0.10, and I will call another function. I will say reset transform. Okay, we have two examples functions sorry, and for testing these actions I will create a new cube. I called it test object and add this test script to here, and I will put this object front of the camera. Where is my camera? It is here. And I need to put my test object in front of the camera. For example, here. 50 of 50. That's it. Okay, and final step is we need to add the test object into the order found. When we found our object, for example, do this function, test change transform. You can call any functions from other objects or this object as you want, so you don't have any restriction for this part. And also when we not found our object, do another function, reset transform, for example. Okay, let's see what will be as a I need to change the target name to small s. Okay. Look at the angles of the test object, and when we don't find it, perfect. It works well. Okay, but there is a problem with the naming. I said in here when we don't find, when we didn't find it, let's to say find it please. But in here we say okay, let's to write the name of object. So I make it as a comma, the comment, and let's test it again. Okay, it works well. Perfect. Even we can say class or other types. I found, for example, something like this, so it will be beautiful. I found Bravo. Now we can use this object detection as a trigger to call any functions we want. Okay. In the next step, we are going to use color detection and use it as a trigger of any function we want. For example, we will find, and our target is finding, for example, a green glass, not any all the glasses. Just green glass is our target object, and try to call any function we want. Okay, let's go to the next step. If you like these types of videos, please subscribe my channel and like and comment below of this video or other videos related to AR, VR, and XR in Unity.